We're glad you found us. This is UnityOnlineRadio.org, the voice of an awakening world.
Explore the mystical side of life in a multi-dimensional way. Welcome to Integrative Mystic with Anne Vivian.
Welcome to Integrative Mystic. From the magic to the mundane, come play in the spaces where the two worlds meet. My name is Anne Vivian. Thank you so much for joining me on today's show. I am an integrative mystic, or at least I strive to be. I'm a clairvoyant, visionary, artist, intuitive coach, counselor, and writer. And I love to empower others to integrate their own natural inner mystic into their psyches, into their lives, and to see them naturally unfold more magic and fulfillment in their lives. I believe we were created as spiritual integrative beings whose job it is to manifest experiences and things on this earth plane using this integration of all the different types of consciousness within us and around us, including the logical, the physical, the emotional, and yes, the mystical dimensions. So I want to just invite you into this integrative sacred space. Please do come in, friend. Let's take a minute to ground and center. Take a deep breath. We're entering the world between worlds. We're entering that space where we can let our hair down and be our weird, mystical, intuitive selves. This is a safe space. Just releasing the tension of the day, imagining it's just being swept away by the broom of spirit, by the divine broom of spirit and your angels, letting go of any tension. Connecting with the earth, connecting with your heart. We're connecting with each other, and I'm so honored to connect with you right now. So we are going to explore our beliefs and how our beliefs may help us or hinder us from connecting with those mystical realms, our intuition and our ability to connect with source, and our ability to integrate that and use it as a co-creative source for manifesting. We're going to talk about the huge importance of beliefs. A couple of announcements before we jump in. Just to remind you that Unity Online Radio is closing their doors April 14th. They are discontinuing the station. Boo-hoo. Can't fight change. Better to embrace it. So in case you didn't hear, I will continue to do my shows until my very last show, April 12th. So please continue to tune in. And I'm going to be moving to a new network, a new format, a new platform. Please stay tuned. I don't have the details worked out, but please do stay tuned. I'm going to update you on where my show is moving. My show is not closing. My show is not being discontinued. It will continue, it will transform. I saw a couple of beautiful, giant vultures on my very frigid walk this morning. It was, I think, 20 degrees and 11 degrees with wind chill. And these two vultures were just hanging out. They were actually near a cat who was relaxing. So that was an interesting trio. And they just kind of looked at me. They were on the ground next to this building. I didn't see a carcass. And I felt like, okay, brother vulture. You have bestowed us with your beautiful spirit animal powers of release. And I feel like the powers of release and transformation, the healing qualities of that Vulture offers us of healing and transformation, of escorting the entities and energies and creatures who have transition to the spirit world. That healing energy is the beautiful healing energy of transformation, and death is nothing but a transformation. So we're going through a transformation here on Unity. I feel like Vulture Spirit Animal is offering us that support along with the angels and all the beings of love and light to help transition the hosts, and this energy and all the great content you get on Unity is going to transform into other formats and my show as well. So stay tuned. I am in contact, in communication with the people where I will probably transfer my show. So another announcement, April 5th, next week, I'm going to have special guest Sylvia go over. She's an author and expert on dreams. She's my friend. She's my colleague. We're actually going to be facilitating a workshop online April 28th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called The Radiant Dream, about using dreams to enhance your creativity and intuition. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And Sylvia is going to talk about how she works with people to help use dreams, help them work with their dreams to enhance their creativity. I can't wait to have her. So don't miss next week's show. I can't wait to have her on my show. And I will post stuff on social media about that. If you would like to call in, the number is 816-251-3555. That's a 555. That's about change, right? 3555. 816-251-3555. If you'd like to call in just to chat, if you want a mini session with me live on the air, that's the number to call in. I'm going to pull a few cards. I'm going to share with you what I'm picking up for the collective energy of the week and the spirit helper message of the week. This week it is Dolphin. I'm going to share that. And then we're going to talk about this week's show topic. So let us transition into the tarot cards for the week. Just going to have a sip of my tea. I feel like a general restless energy in the collective as I tune in this week. And the sun is in Aries. It's a time of restlessness. You feel that Aries energy in the air of initiating something, starting something. People might have more energy, more anxiety, more restlessness, more inspiration, more play. Those are all Aries qualities. Maybe a little bit more competitiveness, more drive. It's beautiful, beautiful Aries energy, starting the spring, starting the oomph for this new season. So I am setting my intention to pull some tarot cards for the week ahead. Ooh, one just came out, the Hanged Man. Interesting. So that we can tune into the collective energy for this week ahead, the week of March 29th, 2022, and guidance for how to move forward. Interesting. Okay. Got the Lovers, King of Swords, the Hierophant, and Four of Wands for this collective energy on Earth this week. Well, I'm going to start with the Hangman because he fell out as I was shuffling. You know, I feel like this speaks to the restlessness that I was tuning into. A lot of people are wanting to go, 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 get this done, get this show on the road. I want to make progress. What's the next step? Why isn't it manifested? Why isn't it finished? Why am I not at the finish line? And that's that beautiful Aries energy. We want to go, go, go. We want to go fast. And I feel like the Hangman is pointing out that a lot of us are balancing that energy of long-term vision, of goals, of desires, and drive. We're balancing the energy of manifesting things and being able to feel the forward movement with more of the bigger perspective, patience, balancing that with logic and a plan and understanding things happen one step at a time, and being able to be centered, be in the present moment. And it goes with the first card that I'm seeing for this week, the Lovers card for the week of March 29th, 2022. There's a sense of balance. And it's funny because the spirit helper this week, an animal spirit, Dolphin, is an animal spirit who helps us with balance and balancing our intuition and our logic, which is such an integrative mystic thing to do, isn't it? So perfect totem for today's show. So I feel like general collective energy, there's a focus on being able to balance and hold ourselves back and see the bigger picture with really managing that drive and managing that energy. And how can I funnel this energy? Do I have too much energy or not enough? Do I need to try and manifest and mobilize more energy? Or do I need to find a way to balance maybe this excess of energy I have? Maybe I'm feeling restless or anxious and I don't quite know where to put this energy. Maybe I need more channels for moderating and expressing this divine energy. So I feel like the collective energy this week, it's focusing also on power and aligning with our own power. How can I feel confident without being bossy or overly controlling? The energy of this week, I feel like the challenge is tuning into your power, tuning into your personal power while being compassionate. And to do that in a conscious way. Power isn't a bad thing. A lot of people, on the spiritual path are hesitant to stand in their power or to talk about power. Power, oh, what's that? Get it away from me. It's corruption. Power is corruption. And, we need to reprogram that belief. We're talking about beliefs today and how they enhance or hinder our connection with spirit, our connection with the mystical realms, our connection with divine guidance and support. And this is one example. If we have a belief about power that it's wrong, it's bad, all power is corrupt and hurts people, we're never going to be able to stand in our power and wield this divine power that we're being handed. Power can be empowering. The more power I have, the more power you have. The more power I have, the more ability I have to help myself and you. Just because I am creating things and making changes and manifesting and succeeding, which is power. What is power? But the ability to use force, use that energy to create change, to take action. That doesn't mean that I'm taking power away from you or that I'm using my power to hurt you. So redefining what power means, redefining some of these old beliefs, these old outdated beliefs about money or power or gender or what God is, what spirit is, who we are, our connection with God, and really asking yourself, what do I really believe? What is really helpful? What old beliefs are just rattling around in my psyche still that are holding me back? So this is a good week to ask yourself, how do I hold power? Can I hold power with integrity? Can I hold power with compassion and a vision, and not an impulsivity, not a selfishness, but a grand, large perspective, expanded paradigm and structure where I can be self-compassionate, I can be compassionate towards others, and I can also make decisions and use this ability that's handed to me to create change and create what I want in my life. You heard me take a sip of tea. I'm going to be doing that throughout the show. I've been talking with clients for all day long. So I'm trying to keep my voice. I'm trying to keep the power in my voice, y'all. So thank you for bearing with me. Hierophant. Hierophant is the guidance card for this week. And Hierophant is the spiritual leader, is spirit in power, spirit in the structures of this earth. So I feel like the Hierophant is guiding us this week to attune to where you feel your spiritual power is, even if it's unconventional. And I feel like the Hierophant is guiding us, spirit is guiding us to take heed of where you see your neighbors and how they are tuning into their spiritual power, where they are tuning into their source, and ask yourself if that is helpful or not helpful for you. You may be surrounding yourself with people who are not holding the belief systems, the energy, the vibration that is nurturing to you. Are the people around you holding power with integrity? Maybe they are, and maybe you want to align with them more, but it can help us to tune into our own power in divinely designed, balanced, ways by surrounding ourselves with powerful people who are holding that power with integrity. The people in your spiritual life, your spiritual circle, your church or your spiritual practice, your friends, your colleagues, are you internalizing old, unhelpful, out of balance paradigms about power and what it means to be confident? Are you internalizing helpful beliefs? Maybe you have some really inspiring mentors around you who are confident, who understand how to stand in their power and to be a leader in a way that is helpful to others and themselves. And if you have someone in your life, maybe, there's someone at work you can't avoid, or someone in your family who is, you realize, kind of affecting you in a negative way. You maybe are unconsciously internalizing some of their energy or paradigms or beliefs, or you're being just affected by it. Maybe you're empathic and just being affected by someone around you who is overly competitive or controlling. You're allowed to disidentify from that. No, thank you. I'm not going to take that on. I choose to create my life in a different way. So that's the guidance I feel like for this week. Where are the mentors around you? Where are the kindred spirits around you who are being confident, being leaders, being empowered with integrity, and helping you to expand that consciousness in yourself? And where are the people you need to make sure that you forgive, make sure that you send your prayers to, but also set some boundaries with, and be sure not to internalize? The Four of Wands is the final result card for us for this week. And I feel like the Four of Wands is guiding us to take time for ourselves, to be sure and nurture yourself. Be a little selfish this week. I feel like the Four of Wands is guiding us to check in where you've been ignoring yourself. Have you been spending too much time on other people, or working too much, or too much activity, and you need to take time to slow down? This is a card of celebration and recreation. And I feel like the Four of Wands spirit is guiding us to be sure and structure in times of rest and play and recreation this week, so that you can tune in to spirit, so you can recharge your batteries. If you're always working and always moving, you're always in action, then you are out of balance energetically, and you're going to have a harder time tuning in to your spiritual center, and you're going to have a harder time integrating that divine, mystical guidance and power and blessings being bestowed to you. It's sometimes those moments where we're slowing down that we can really allow that energy to flow through us. I pulled an Angels and Ancestors card. Hunter, track down your fears and your desires. We're going to be talking about this today with beliefs, is understanding those unhelpful beliefs that maybe are fear-based, or reprogramming them to really intentionally create our desires and to manifest our desires. I'll pull an angel card or two for this week. Oh, we've got Iophiel or Jophiel, beauty and mercy. So I feel like Jophiel is guiding us to, don't forget about you. Don't forget about pampering yourself. Tune into your own beauty. Take time to appreciate what is unique and beautiful and admirable and attractive and special about you. And as you can admire this about yourself in a compassionate way, not in a narcissistic way or a self-centered way, but not in a conceited way, in a self-compassionate way. As you can admire these things about yourself, you can admire them more about others, and you attract others to you who appreciate you more. So notice what is charming about you this week. And that's a form of manifesting divine power, is recognizing and acknowledging your gifts, strengths, beauty, blessings, and mercy, being gentle with yourself. Are you too hard on yourself? Is your inner dialogue tilted more towards the self-critic? I feel like the angel of mercy is guiding us to, as we would have mercy on others, sending compassion to everyone in the world, in our family, in our circle, Ukraine, who is struggling. Have that same compassion for yourself and send compassion and love to yourself. And this is a way of opening up compassion in multiple dimensions. So those were the cards for this week. In summation, be nice to you. You got to be your own cheerleader. Step into your power. Remember to list the things that are awesome and fantastic about you. And to find a way to balance your energy. Ask yourself how I can channel my energy in a balanced way, how I can create more energy in my life. If I'm lacking, to release and channel more energy in my life. If it's maybe a little bit too much, if I'm not sure and the energy is all over the place, what's a way I can just create a balanced flow? And sometimes that is just giving to someone else, giving a compliment or a smile. It's maybe giving ourselves a compliment or a smile. And remember to take time to relax and play this week. Don't overdo it. Find time to smell the roses and enjoy your loved ones. That was the collective energy and divine guidance for the week. I am now going to share with you the spirit helper message of the week. I usually tune in and ask for higher consciousness beings, entities, one of them to come to me and offer me and my audience guidance for the week ahead. So this week it was an animal spirit. That is the dolphin spirit animal who came to visit me. When I lived in Fort Myers, Florida, I used to see the beautiful dolphins on the beach, and I would feel their spiritual, mystical energy, and I would feel them encouraging me to have fun, to play, to be like them and frolic in the waves. I could just feel that playful intelligence and compassion as I saw them just diving into the waves and popping up. It was just such a magical experience. And I remember the other people on the beach walking with me. We would all just have a beautiful sacred moment together where we were experiencing the magical playfulness of the dolphins. It was really quite stellar. So dolphins are associated with joy, with play, intuitive development, psychic ability, intelligence, and balance, which was a theme that came up in the cards for this week, balancing. So here's the message from dolphin spirit animal for the week ahead. The waters of life run deep. Use the currents you swim in to swerve and meander for the sake of play. You can play and have fun without losing track of your goals. You can make progress towards your goals while having fun. We like to surf and play and flow with the ocean, knowing we are helping each other achieve our goals with each flip of our fins. Remember, you can achieve what you want to without too much struggle and strain. Use the magic that is all around you to manifest your desires. The key is to not take things as seriously as you humans often do, and allow the magical universe to bring you that which you desire with ease. Allowing is the key. Put aside your own notions for how you think your goals should come to fruition, and allow the magical waters of spirit to flow things to you in unexpected and delightful ways. There is work and action for you to take, of course, but balance the action with allowing and notice what miracles come about. Thank you for that beautiful message from Dolphin Spirit Animal. Are you flowing with the waters of spirit, my friend? Are you allowing the universe to bring you that which you desire. Part of the being an integrative mystic, being an integrative manifester is not only using our intention, using the law of attraction to clarify that which we want and to manifest it by focusing on positive things, focusing on what we want to create, but also allowing the universe to bring it to you. Because if you are in an overly active mental action, creative, analytical state, if you're overly focused, you're clogging up those channels, which are the natural channels for spirit to bring you what you need to manifest. So you need to open the doors. Half of opening the doors is not only clarifying your intention, but letting go, but playing, but allowing, and being in that receptive mode where you've let go and you're just in a state of faith and fun. We're not always in a positive mood or playful. I recognize that it's a human experience not to be, but stay in that place of openness. And we are going to a break right now. We're going to talk about your beliefs and how your beliefs can help or hinder your ability to be an integrative mystic. So stick around. We will be right back after these messages.
Practical spirituality, positive messages. This is UnityOnlineRadio.org, the voice of an awakening world.
You're listening to Integrative Mystic with Anne Vivian on UnityOnlineRadio.org.
Welcome back to Integrative Mystic. This is Anne Vivian. The number to call in if you would like to just talk with me, if you have a comment about today's show or you want a little mini intuitive session, the number to call is 816-251-3555. I can see we do have a caller waiting, and if you've called in, please hold the line. I will take your calls in a few minutes after I talk about today's topic, and I will be happy to take some calls at the end. So last week we explored ways to connect with the mystical realms and receive divine guidance and support, including dreams, intuition, ritual, prayer, meditation, divination. And I guided you through a meditation to tune into your higher guidance about how you might tweak and expand your practice for connecting with the mystical realms. And if you'd like to listen to that show, just go back to the archived episode and you can listen to that guided meditation. And in today's show, we're going to talk about beliefs and how this actually affects our ability to actually tap into that divine help and guidance, tap into the mystical. Do you find it hard to connect with your intuition? Do you trust the insights you get in meditation or reflection or from prayers? Or do you have trouble trusting? Is it difficult for you to believe? Do you second guess your intuitions? Do you second guess when you see maybe a prayer or intention is unfolding or being answered? Perhaps you have a practice to connect with the mystical realms, but it feels separate from your work life or your home life. Perhaps you do feel like you have that connection and that flow, but it doesn't feel integrated into your daily life. It doesn't feel integrated into your psyche. I like to think of my life rather as a living prayer. I like to think of my life as a divine spell, a divine expression of magic continually unfolding. And I like to think of an integration of my connection with source and in my daily mundane activities. And that's how I strive to live my life. Do I always succeed? No, of course not. I am, after all, an earthling in an earthling human form at this time. that is. And bringing the magic and the mundane together, it's you cultivate that your whole life, but that is what I believe what we are here to do, is to integrate these different realms in this earth plane. It's a beautiful, beautiful realm for doing this. You can't integrate it in the same way in the spirit world. This is a great opportunity. We're here in these human bodies. This is an amazing opportunity to integrate the mystical and the mundane, the physical and the intuitive and the logical and the sensory and the creative and our will and all of it. It's integrating those different realms. That's how I live my life. And I want to invite you to imagine doing that, my friend. You're not going to be able to tune in as easily to those mystical realms and integrate them. You're not going to be able to tune into divine guidance. You're not going to be able to tune into your intuition, probably, if you don't believe that you can, or if you don't believe that you should. Why? Because as unity upholds, as unity church proposes, your thoughts create your reality. And it's a universal law. It's a metaphysical law. Your thoughts create your reality, the law of attraction. And if you are setting your intention by focusing on, or just even on a low level believing, perhaps unconsciously perpetuating the momentum of an unconscious belief that you should not, or that you cannot tune in to the mystical realms, your intuition, to divine guidance, that's going to create that reality for you. So it's so important that we do some house cleaning, that we do some assessment of what our beliefs are about connecting with these realms, so that we can program ourselves and program our psyches to open the channels needed to bring this energy into our life. Even in psychology, this is a belief and an understanding in counseling and psychology that your beliefs and your perception create your reality. There are some schools of psychology. Constructivism is a school of psychology related to narrative therapy. And you find this in educational philosophy and in philosophy. The idea here is you construct your own reality just on a cognitive level, that reality is not universal. Reality is subjective. You create your own reality. And just on a psychological level, if you're focusing on self-criticism, you're going to create experiences that reflect that. You're going to, in your behavior, you're going to express that low self-esteem. In your interpersonal interactions, you're going to create more drama and interpersonal conflict by expressing that low self-esteem, or those beliefs about your low self-worth. You're going to see that manifest in so many areas of your life, just psychologically. And you can see that in the interpersonal psychological realm. But on a metaphysical level, this is a universal law you find, all over wisdom traditions, talking about everything is vibration, and the universe operates by similar vibrations attracting each other. You can see this in nature. You can see it in physics, gravitational pull, and you can see it in how things pull together molecularly, that there is a vibration that tends to attract a similar vibration. Birds of a feather flock together. It's a universal law, and thoughts become things. So it's very important that we're aware of what we're focusing on, what our beliefs are, and what vibration we're putting out to the world. Now, you can go take this to the extreme and get yourself out of balance by over analyzing your thoughts. And it's normal to have moments of depression or anger or confusion. That's called being human. And that's part of our creative process, is working with those emotions and experiences and challenges. But overall, is the overall momentum of your thoughts during a day positive, hopeful, focusing on what you want? Or is the overall momentum focusing on what you're worrying about, what your resentments, or who did you wrong, or how you can't do this? If the overall momentum is towards that what you want, you are using the law of attraction towards your benefit. And if not, you could probably tweak it. And there's certain areas in your life where you probably have certain beliefs that are more in harmony with what you really want, what your soul wants, and certain areas that could use some tweaking. So I want to ask you, my friend, to ask yourself, what are my beliefs about connecting with the mystical realms, about being mystical? What are my beliefs about my higher power, about spirit? A lot of common ones are that God is a punishing God, that I'm not worthy of connecting with source or God. That word has so much, it's so loaded, isn't it? It has a lot of baggage for people. So I like to use the word spirit or source, but maybe you have some old outdated beliefs about how you connect with the mystical, that maybe your church or your pastor, your priest is the channel for connecting with the mystical, knows more than you do, or that lady on YouTube knows more than I do. Well, you are the most direct connection with the mystical. You're the most direct connection with spirit, and you are worthy. And we have to redefine our definition of our higher power as a loving divine consciousness, as a benevolent divine consciousness. Do you have beliefs that maybe it's wrong to connect with the mystical? We have all these outdated beliefs about mystical practices and metaphysics, that woo-woo equals the devil, or that tuning into your intuition is somehow evil. And we need to reprogram these. If you know it in your heart, it's helpful to reprogram this in your mind. Some of us believe it's silly to connect with our intuition, or believe the mystical experiences we're actually having. It's maybe that I don't have the capability to be intuitive or connect with divine consciousness. And this is old programming. We need to reprogram this. You do have the ability. We all have the ability. We all have a sixth sense. We all have that connection with source. And a lot of us living in the modern Western world have beliefs about, I need to be more logical. I need to be more practical, that I shouldn't believe in intuition over logic, that intuition doesn't work, prayer doesn't work, ritual doesn't work, God can't help me, only I can help me, only logic and action get results. Those beliefs are old, outdated beliefs, and we need to reprogram them with the higher awareness that spirit speaks to us through many doors, and it's beyond just logic and action and practicality. That's one way that divine consciousness is expressing, but our intuition, our connection with the divine through dreams and ritual and creativity and imagination, prayer, meditation, these are doorways to non-linear, non-logical kinds of awareness. And when we open ourselves up to the mystical by believing that it is right, it is spiritual, it is in alignment with divinity for us to do it, we really open the doorway to having more of those experiences. So how can I reprogram these beliefs? And how can I, once I identify what my old beliefs are, and maybe you can do this by just doing some journaling, finish the sentence. First thing that comes to your mind, my old outdated beliefs about being mystical are, and then write down the first things that come to you. What I believe about being intuitive is ... and the first things that come to you. You might notice you have a mixture of helpful and unhelpful beliefs. My beliefs about what God is dot, dot, dot. So you can do little exercises like this to identify maybe what some beliefs you weren't even aware were there are, or just reflecting on it. What do I believe about these things? When you're reprogramming these beliefs with new positive ones, it can be helpful to write down your affirmations, to say them daily. You can work with your dreams. You can incubate a dream, just setting your intention to ask your dreams, what old beliefs do you need to reprogram? Ask your dreams to help you reprogram new positive beliefs. You can use visualization, visualizing the new beliefs. You can use artwork to illustrate them. It's just setting your intention to reprogram these beliefs is really powerful. But it's really good to have some kind of daily routine, daily practice. I use visualization and affirmations, and sometimes I'm working on certain beliefs that I really want to reprogram. If you're using affirmations and visualizations, one of the things that can really anchor that energy into your reality is to pair it with a feeling. So try and invoke the feeling of that visualization, of your desire, as you affirm it, and use it on a daily basis. So I see that we do have a caller. I am going to switch over to the time of the show where I speak to a lovely caller, and I think her name is Grace. Hi, Grace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, this is Anne Vivian speaking. Welcome to my show. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we're talking about beliefs and how our beliefs can trip us up or help us. Where do you feel like you are with your beliefs? Are they empowering? Do they help you connect with the divine?
Yeah, I would like more like I just had a question.
Okay, so what's your question, Grace?
Okay, yeah. I wanted to get if you have any clarity or intuitive clarity around something, if that's what is okay.
Yeah, sure, that's okay. That's okay. So you just kind of want me to generally tune into your energy and tell you what I'm picking up on. Sure. If you could Grace.
Then kind of focusing on and working on like opening or working on the relationship, the partner, and just wondering any kind of thing around that.
Okay, sure.
Coming in or what I need to work on. Yeah, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome, Grace. If you could just set your intention to open your energy so I could read you, it'll just be a moment of silence as I'm tuning into your energy, okay? Well, Grace, as I'm tuning into your energy, I feel like you are a very intuitive, spiritual person. And I feel a lot of just mystical energy around you. I feel like your spirituality is actually a big factor in your relationships and your intention to open up to a relationship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does resonate.
I'm pulling some cards for you. Okay, well, so Grace, I feel like you do have a lot of motivation and drive for creating positive change in your relationships that it's funny. It's kind of like the collective energy I was tuning into today. There's a part of you that just wants to get up and go and start something, and a part of you that's holding yourself back and wanting to kind of pace yourself. But you're being more discerning. You don't just want to throw yourself into something. You want to be able to use discernment and create a relationship with integrity, and it's really nurturing to you. And to go back to what we were talking about today about our beliefs, I feel like you have refined your beliefs to honor your own needs more, and this can be really powerful. I feel like there's this sense in the air that you don't want to repeat past mistakes, and that you're wanting to take things slowly so that you can, really intentionally create a better situation for yourself moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Do you see anything coming in, or is it still going to take some time?
Well, Grace, I feel like you are moving towards manifesting a beautiful relationship. I think it's going to be, I'm hearing not short term. I don't feel like the trajectory right now is it'll be, tomorrow or a week. I feel like you are working on creating this, and I see, a few months is when things start to happen, and you have more people coming to you and availability. But I feel like you are on the path because you're taking more care of yourself and honoring yourself more. And as you really anchor that belief that I am enough, and I do have these beautiful spiritual gifts, and I'm intuitive, and I feel like just the like grace, and you really like to arrange your space in a certain way, and a lot of like beauty in your space, and being able to manifest a partner who honors that and is in harmony with that. You are moving towards that right now. So I feel like if you can actually be a little bit more selfish and to, adore yourself more, like take yourself out on a date, you are manifesting that energy even faster. But I feel like, also you making sure to close the door on the chapter that you want to end, so that you're opening yourself to a new beginning. I don't like, in a way, I feel like you haven't quite closed the door to a previous chapter, and you kind of have some of that old energy around you. So what I suggest you do is like a cleansing ritual. Grace, I don't know why I called you Rachel. A cleansing ritual, Grace, where you're really letting go of the past and letting go of old beliefs, letting go of old energy in your love life and old relationships, and doing some forgiveness work, doing some release work, really saying goodbye to whatever it is that you want to release, so that you can really open up that energy for a new love. I feel like also doing some work on your actual space, like just moving things around a little in the space where you live, I think can help the general life energy flow to you. And, the energy in our space can really, hinder or help the energy for our love life and our finances and all sorts of things. So I don't feel like there is a big block in your space, but just like moving something in your home, creating a little bit more flow of the energy with your furniture and your arrangement might help you as well, just to manifest this quicker. But I do feel like you're not going to be alone. You're definitely going to meet some people. And I feel like, I actually feel like the fall is a really strong time for you potentially for love life to, and as we make changes in the here and now, we change the trajectory for our future. This isn't set in stone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard something like the number 26. So I thought maybe in 2026 or something. I'm not sure. That seemed really far away from here.
Well, that seems far away. It might be 2026 that your intuition brought you that, or you connected with that number because it's a significant number in some way, other than that's when you'll meet your life partner. It could be the 26th of the month, or it could be, 2026, you'll take that relationship to a new level, or it could be, I wouldn't take that literally necessarily, because that is, kind of a far way off. But I feel like a big part of you manifesting your partner, and I do see someone here in the cards, I do think that you will manifest someone. I feel like it's less than a year is what I'm picking up, but it has to do with valuing yourself. Grace, do you feel like you value yourself, that you have a healthy self-esteem? Do you struggle with self-criticism?
Well, I think the guy that I want and the guys that I've been attracting, they really haven't valued me. So yeah. I wasn't quite there yet, and now I think I'm working on upgrading myself so that I can actually, when I like someone, that I feel valuable enough to feel worthy of that kind of a man, that I would
Yes.
normally think, oh, that's too much for me, or I can't have that,
Yes. And that's
Obviously,
where
I
the
don't want
release.
less than that. Yeah, I don't want less than that kind of man. But
You deserve it,
also,
Grace. You deserve it. And that's
but
where that release ritual can come in, doing some release prayers, release rituals,
yeah,
letting that past go and really and then you can do, a new love prayer ritual, any kind
I think
of practice to really anchor that intention to value yourself and attract someone who values you the way that you deserve.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the thing is, like, to work on is the value part of, like, okay, you want this kind of man and that's the only one you want, then kind of have to feel valuable enough to handle that kind of energy in my life, and I'm probably already there, but I think on some level I'm not, on some level I feel maybe I'm not. For some reason. So
yeah, and that's the energy I was tuning into with, that old energy from those old relationships and not being valued, and your own beliefs here about, which it sounds like you've already done some amazing reprogramming, Grace, where you've already been able to make progress in reminding yourself of your own value, and you do deserve someone who appreciates you and loves you and treats you with respect and integrity and love. And you still got maybe, it's not 100%. You still got some old beliefs that second guess yourself. So take some of the advice from my show. I suggest you listen to my show if you haven't listened to it today, because I give some advice for how to reprogram some of these beliefs. And, one of the things you can do is a release ritual to let go of some of these old beliefs, but also just on a daily level, repeating to yourself, I am worthy, I have value, I deserve a partner who values and respects me, of visualizing that, of imagining how it would feel to have that kind of relationship. Is that something you can imagine yourself doing?
Yeah. The website, I mean, the listening to your program on eliminating beliefs.
Yes, that's today's show, and I suggest you go back and listen to it. We are coming to the end of the show, but I hope that was helpful, Grace, and I thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, my pleasure. So we are coming to the end of this show. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Integrative Mystic. Next show, I'm going to have my guest Sylvia Gover on. Don't miss it. And I will look forward to connecting with you then. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening. This is Unity Online Radio, the voice of an awakening world.